Back in 2005, one of the greatest animated shows in American cartoon history debuted on Nick. That show, that's right, you guessed it, is Avatar, The Last Airbender. Hey guys, Nate here, and today I'm going to be discussing why you should watch Avatar The Last Airbender. Avatar was recently added to US Netflix in May, and discussion of the show has been all over social media. You cannot use any platform right now without seeing a post about it. It is probably the best thing to happen in the US this year, and that's no understatement. Avatar is considered by many to be ahead of its time, and its depiction of concepts we've seen in our world is one of the many reasons people love this show so much. If you've never watched Avatar before and need a quick rundown, I got you. Avatar is a world where there are four nations and under the four elements: water, earth, fire, and air. In each nation, there exist people that have the ability to bend the element that represents their nation. Only one person can bend all four elements, and they are known as the Avatar. The Avatar is supposed to bring balance to the world by maintaining harmony between humans and spirits. When the Avatar dies, they are reincarnated into the next Avatar in what is known as the Avatar cycle. The current Avatar is a 12-year-old boy named Aang, an airbender. Well, technically 112, since in the first episode, Aang is found by his soon-to-be companions in an iceberg, and it's explained to us that Aang went missing for 100 years. And thanks to these two water tribe kids, the Avatars returned to the world. Enough backstory now, let me jump into why you should watch this show as soon as possible. Even though the show is a cartoon, there's many complex themes and stories that anyone of any age can enjoy. The story touches on the concept of war, genocide, imperialism, romance, etc., and really makes you think. You can watch this as an adult and enjoy a storyline that doesn't feel like a kid's show. I recently just rewatched the show, a few weeks ago, and I'm 22 years old, and honestly, it was very enjoyable, and I think I would have enjoyed this at any age, regardless if I was 6, 22, or 35. So you can enjoy it. Avatar is too complex to just brush it off as a kid's show, and let me explain by continuing the plot. Within the 100 years since the Avatar went missing, the Fire Nation started a war to control the entire world. They've been fighting against every tribe, hoping to bring them to their knees. You may have been wondering why this show is called The Last Airbender, and that's because the Air Nation had been wiped out by the Fire Nation, leaving the sole airbender in the world to be, that's right, Avatar Aang. Aang's journey focuses on defeating the Fire Lord so that he can bring balance to the world. Throughout his journey, we meet many characters that develop greatly over the 3 seasons of the show, and watching who they are from episode 1 to the final episode of season 3 is a sight to see. Characters such as Sokka and Katara, the water tribe siblings I mentioned earlier, who freed Aang from his ice imprisonment, and Appa and Momo, his trusty animal companions, are valuable pieces to the story and help make Avatar the phenomenon it is. I couldn't imagine the story without these characters, and any fan would tell you that. There are several other characters we meet throughout the show that really put the icing on the cake and are enjoyable pieces to the story. Enough where fans want stories just for these side characters. This is not something that happens in every show. Avatar also has a heavy Asian influence. The bending styles are based off Asian martial arts, and the nations are based on various Asian cultures and locations. If you want to experience something that depicts cultures we don't typically see represented in Western media, then you definitely want to give this show a watch. While I explained that the goal of the show is to portray Aang's journey to defeat the Fire Lord, I haven't discussed the antagonists that we meet along the way, and why one of them specifically is arguably the greatest character in the show. I mentioned earlier that Aang is an airbender, and since he is the Avatar, he can bend all 4 elements. The only problem is, he can't do that yet, so he is traveling the world to learn them. However, it's not that simple. The Fire Nation has been trying to capture the Avatar to keep him from ruining their plans of world domination, and a young man by the name of Prince Zuko has been hunting him down for 3 years at the start of the story. Prince Zuko is a Fire Nation prince who is banished by his father, Fire Lord Ozai, and he needs to bring the Avatar to him in order to restore his honor. Over the course of the story, Zuko's persistence and dedication to hunting Aang takes a twist that can honestly only be described as one of the best things about the show, but I'll leave that to you to witness. Finally, if you check out my channel, you'll see that I make a lot of anime content, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you like anime or not, this show is an amazing watch. It's not really an anime, and I would classify it as a cartoon, but it has that vibe that anybody, especially people that aren't big into animated series, can enjoy. It's not overwhelming like a lot of anime or over dramatic, and it's not a show that people would call weird. which is something you often hear a lot when people describe anime. It can suit the palate of many people, and I guarantee that by the end of the show, you'll definitely want to watch more, because I definitely did. And that's how I started looking into like the comics, and even they have a sequel series called Legend of Korra, which is very debatable and questionable show to many people, but I enjoyed it. But I'd strongly recommend that you give this show a try, and hopefully it'll be the gateway for you to find other interesting shows just like this. Besides that, that's all for me, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and comment down below your opinions on the show. I'm sure it'll be worthwhile, but until next time, peace.
Drink cactus juice. It'll quench you.
I'm back on this paper route. Focused on me and whatever gon' fill in my bank account. Stacking my chips and my checkers and fill with a crazy amount. Chasing my dream all